Okay, guys, we are live! So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly, grim, and perilous master today, because today we are carrying on with our ongoing campaign, playing Cubicle 7's outstanding Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay fourth edition. Third edition would be the Fantasy Flight one. And we are playing through a campaign set in the northernmost region of the Empire. That would be Salzenmund, the city of salt and silver, in a campaign we're calling Salt, Silver, and Sin. And with me today are the stars of the Salt, Silver, and Sin campaign. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing today? First up, we've got Carl.
Hello, I'm Carl, and I'm playing Katerina of Shalia.
Nice. And what is her profession? Or calling.
She is a priest. Officially, she is a priest. Well, unofficially, but XP wise, she's a priest.
Nice, awesome. Next up is Colin, aka Spoik Pit.
Hello, I am playing Frederick Schuster of the Schusters out of Salzenmund, and yeah, it's been a while. I've forgotten where he's from almost there. And he's a hunter, trapper kind of character, eager to see the world and tell tales of daring do to admiring onlookers.
Nice. And last but certainly not least is Darren.
Yeah, Darren here. I'm playing Alwyn Carlson, who is a human outlaw career. His current level is brilliant, and he's got his lovable family pet Astrid.
Very nice. Now this session finds us as part we don't have it listed as where we are in the mystery, but this is a continued investigation that you guys have been undertaking. And let me see here if I got you on the right page here. I do. What has been going on, guys?
Right, where did we? So last time, Talfa was with us and took over a lot of the negotiations.
So maybe to situate ourselves, just generally speaking, you guys had been, at least the two priests of the party had been retained to travel as part of a contingency to try and effect a peace between two feuding noble families. And along the way, there was a somewhat unfortunate event. Well, one kind of unfortunate event and then one really unfortunate event. Mm-hmm. Do you guys recall what those were?
Well, we were jumped, weren't we?
Yes.
We were jumped. By
mutants?
Yeah, a band of mutants that, you know, we had our suspicions. It seemed all a little bit fishy.
Yeah.
Rehearsed.
Especially when we discovered that the dignitary, the priest, was he a priest or a...
He was, yeah, the priest of Sigmar.
Sigmar.
Yeah, Erasmus Hager.
Erasmus Hager, yeah, he was killed. And
yes.
then everything kicked off, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the surviving acolytes of Sigmar did not feel that they could take the investigation on themselves, but because they had priests of both Shalia and of Manan on hand, that they were asked to investigate what had happened. And that is what you guys have been doing these last couple of sessions, is meeting members of the two families, the Kreutzfelds and the Durenbachs. And what did you uncover last time? There were some more stunning revelations.
Yeah, so like I say, Talfa took over a lot of the interrogations or investigations. So I think we spoke to Frederick for the first time. That was the first time we spoke to him. Said that he knew nothing about the murder, as most of them, or all of them, have already said. He was in the family coach with his brother Jacob when it took part, the attack. Said that he thought Dorothy and her family were from a long line of murderers and well, people that backstab, etc. He believes that Brigitta is a chaos follower and involved with chaos quite heavily. He also said that one of the, I don't know if he declare, I think he didn't declare which one of the Darrenbacks, but he said one of them had killed his first love.
Yes.
So he was very bitter towards the whole family, which is why he called them murderers. And he also slept with Brigitta to get back at her. That's what he said. She refused those claims or denied those claims, but others sort of backed it up, I think. But he did say that he would go along with Jacob, his brother, his plans to try and see the families get to peace. But again, whether you take any of that with a pinch of salt and whether you believe what he says. So that was Frederick last time, I believe. That's pretty much. We then spoke to Brigitta.
Oh, wow.
She said she was with her brother during the attack in their family coach, which he confirmed later, I think. She also says she wants the peace to go ahead between the families. She suspects that Frederick will go to any lengths to give the Darrenbacks a bad name or to harm the family. She says that her brother shouldn't be the leader of the family, so she's got quite strong feelings towards him, hatred towards him. Like I said, she denied that Frederick slept with her. She said something that she confirmed that the peace talks she thought would go through, but only with concessions on the other family's part. So she don't want it to go through unless there's some sort of revelation or confessions or concessions. She was okay with the engagement of Dorothy and Jacob. She said she didn't know who the Greta woman was. And we found a note on her, or she dropped a note when we was talking to her, that we were fairly convinced was planted. And it was a note from her about a chaos.
And that was this right here, Carl.
Yeah, so from her.
So for those at home who may not be able to read it, it reads, Brigitta, ever since you were accepted into our sinful order, we have eagerly awaited your passage from ignorance to chaos by way of the ritual of initiation. That time has now arrived. Please meet with your superior at the appointed place when more sleep next waxes full. Praise be to Slanesh.
Yep, so
it's got all the fun. It's got all the fun tropes of a chaos note, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, that dropped off of Brigitta. We did speak to her later about that note. She obviously denied writing it and said it was, it was planted, or she knew nothing of it. And at that point, she did show us loads of pages of witnesses that had seen Jacob, because she started talking about Jacob and his mutant ways. She showed us pages of witnesses that Jacob had seen Jacob helping the mutants, raising an army at his own property, heavily involved with the mutants. At that point, she also agreed to open the chest at the back of the Darrenbacks coach. And inside was 500 gold coins, which we believe was the payment for the blackmail. So Ruprecht, he'd brought the money to pay off that blackmail from his man of arms.
Right.
So that was found out.
The blackmail actually from the man at arms and the other family.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. So, yep, she confirmed that bit. And then we spoke to Ruprecht. He was very unhappy with his sister Brigitta. There seemed to be a bit of a feud there. They definitely don't see eye to eye.
Yeah, that was super apparent, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was
strong
it was
hatred.
not even a seems to be. There was like a definite.
I think they were quite open about it as well.
Yeah. There was a blatant animosity there.
He said he wanted the peace talks to succeed, like most of them. But
Doesn't
it
seem
was
like that much.
Yeah, it was fairly obvious. I think Talfa saw through it, and he sort of saw that he was lying. I think he detected that he was.
Ruprecht was lying, or
yeah, he was lying about the peace talks. He don't want them to succeed. It was giving off some sort of tell when he was saying that.
Okay. So the only one we haven't interviewed is Jacob.
I think we have spoken to Jacob previously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
Okay.
that was the session before.
Okay.
What else? Did he say anything else? Oh, he said that Brigitta was dumped by Frederick. So he confirmed that Frederick and Brigitta had been some sort of item. And he dumped her because of her prayers to chaos and being involved with chaos. But again, there was we think he was lying. So he did a lot of lying, that guy. And Talfa seemed to be able to see through it. He was with Brigitta during the attack, so they confirmed that both each other they were together.
I believe Talfa's looks also carried the day with Brigitta. Because he's got that good-looking talent, and she seemed to really like the scruffy priest of the sea.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You got around it.
Mm-hmm.
His rugged charm, I guess.
Absolutely.
It's his briny smell.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
To say about Jacob, I think the only thing we got out of Jacob was again, he wanted the peace talk to succeed.
Was Jacob the one? Was Jacob the one travelling with a courtesan type woman?
No.
No. Who is that?
That's Frederick, right?
Yep.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
that's Frederick.
Yeah.
Frederick's the player guy.
Oh, yeah. And she hates him. She didn't. She called him Freddy, but she detests him, don't she?
I think Jacob was the one that announced that she was an assassin. He just come out.
Yeah. They're trying to frame her. That's what I suspected. Because she's generally pretty honest with us.
Yeah.
And then the last thing, we did speak to the man at arms.
Which one? Everett or
Aaron. The revelation of the bribe that was going to be paid to the priest of Sigmar, and the trade for that was that Aaron was going to help steer from what he could, provide intelligence and steer the discussions. That led to him being dismissed by Jacob.
Oh, so he's like... So he's revealed as a spy, so... Right,
yeah,
I guess... Well, I guess... So the money was found by the Durenbach family, or you found the money on the Durenbach family, and they were going to pay Aaron's blackmail bribe to the dead priest of Sigmar.
That's what Ruprecht said he was going to do. Aaron denies that, but it's a lot of coins.
Yeah.
And a dead blackmailer. So, but then Aaron, having been freed from his terms of service, spoke to our heroes.
Yep.
Yeah, he spilled the beans, basically. Well, he tried to give up as much information as he could, So he spoke to Talfa and confirmed that Jacob had arranged the attack, the mutant attack. He actually confirmed that. Confirmed that Jacob was a mutant, which we'd already sort of discovered. And the Greta woman was basically, if things went wrong in the peace talks, was to kill the Durenbachs, or at least some of them. That's why she was along.
Yeah, a contingency by the Kreutzfeld patriarch.
Yeah, because Jacob's father didn't trust him to bring peace to the two families, so she was there as a sort of backup if it didn't go to plan. And he believes that Hege, found out about Jacob being a mutant.
Yeah.
And that's why. Well.
Yeah, one thing he did not expressly mention, but given his experience with how Hager responded to learning secrets, how do you think that he would have responded with the Kreutzfeld family?
Who, Hager?
The Herr Hager is the murdered priest of Sigmar. He was the one who was blackmailing Arendt when he learned that he had slept with a noblewoman or had an affair with a noblewoman.
I think he would have probably sided favorably with the Durenbachs, knowing how Sigmar. I mean, assuming Sigmar. I mean, especially if they know that.
So you're seeing it through an idealized version,
right? No. I mean, a fanatical Sigmarite version. They would have. I think they would have. Yeah. I think the leanings would have been, the decisions of leanings would have been towards the Durenbachs because of all the information that was around about the Kreutzfelds. Right? I mean, he probably would have accused Jacob of being a mutant and burned him at the stake right there. But,
or what did he do the last time he learned a secret?
Oh yeah, he just blackmailed him. So give me some money.
That's what Aaron is saying, is that, and it could very well be that Katerina, as she's thinking this through, being a devout member of a church, she might be thinking, oh yeah, he would be a church, he'd burn him. And he's like, you don't know this man. Like you're seeing him as a holy man, and he may have the favor of Sigmar, but he is, and I mean, one of the things that...
he's all for himself, it seems, yeah.
It definitely was the case with Aaron. He was happy to try and extort him for an amount of money that was inconceivable for a man of his means. Who knows? And if he did know of it and he tried, what do you think the Kreutzfelds would have done in response? Then they would have bent over for blackmail?
No.
So
they seem kind of ruthless.
So that is... Go ahead.
But then they have an assassin in their hire. Why wouldn't she have just done it then? That we don't think she did it, right?
Good question. So I don't know. So is Aaron like hanging out with us now? Is he like our man, or? I mean, he's no longer associated with any of them. You guys are in the middle of nowhere, and there are bands of mutants about, so he's not just going to wander off on his own. But right. He is definitely, he's no longer in their employ.
Well, maybe he can give us some muscle, and maybe we can make a show of things. I don't know. I don't think, are they going to want like instant justice, or can we? Or I'll ask the.
I think he'll leave you guys. He'll go and stand not necessarily with, but like around where Greta, Matthias, and the other kind of like caravan followers are, so you guys can have a chat amongst yourselves.
Yeah. Well, I'm just wondering, like, are they going to want like frontier justice, where we just, all right, you're the one who did it, kill you, move on, or are they going to want us to bring them back to civilization for trial?
Why don't you give us let's see here. You could ask people about that as well.
Yeah.
But
we could ask the leftover priest of Sigmar.
Any kind of lore check that relates to, the Empire or Nordland in general, specifically.
I think I have Empire lore.
And that would be that would be an easy task.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, you are agents of the Electric Count, so they would want you to bring back the...
Okay.
Whoever is responsible for that. They are nobles, which means that they're entitled to more... well, it depends on who actually did it, I suppose. But if it's a noble, they're going to want to, they're entitled to a different measure of justice than what commoners are, including the right to trial by combat. But the other, if it's a commoner, likewise, is probably they're doing it at someone's behest, so they will want to interrogate, or question them to see who was responsible for that. So, yeah, you're not likely to be stringing someone up out here.
Okay, that's good. So I have an idea. Maybe we should make a show of accusing someone we know who didn't do it, and then see if that draws out the person who actually did do it.
Did you have somebody in mind?
Yeah, I don't know how much trust we have on Greta, but we could pretend to make a show of arresting her, since she's the obvious choice and all the evidence points to it. And then,
And hope
quote unquote handcuff her, put Aaron in charge of making sure she doesn't get away. But we'd have to talk to her to see if she's cool with that. And then maybe someone will drop their guard. I don't know.
Drop their guard. Yeah.
But I am leaning towards the Krushfelds, although.
Mind you, the only drawback.
The Krushfelds were gonna. Well, yeah, they wouldn't take too kindly to blackmail. So I think
the drawback is.
She won't agree to it.
If we do that, our investigation status kind of comes to a close. And does that mean no one will cooperate with further questioning? It's like, well, you've made your accusation. Why are you still asking me about this kind of thing? Would we lose our privileges to?
I don't know.
Most definitely, yeah. Right now. You have borrowed glory, as it were, because you are agents of the Electric Count, or Katarina is, and Tauther is. So they have that authority that allows them to do that. Once that's gone, these folks go back to being nobles and being as untouchable as what they would be otherwise from folks in your station.
Yeah, and some of them have been fairly unpleasant anyway. I dread to think what they're like.
Well, then we don't actually arrest her, but we can say that we're leaning towards.
Oh yeah, we could tip our hand a little bit as if to.
What is your status of alibis right now for everyone?
I think there's only one person that's outright lied and been proven, and that's Dorothy. Said she was with the sick children.
Yeah, and there are no sick
didn't
children.
exist, or
Yep.
everybody else is pretty much spotted, or it's been confirmed they were where they said they were. So for me, she is still the favourite of actually doing the deed, because she's the only one that's not accounted for during the attack. But that's the only reason.
Have we considered the possibility that it could be two people working together? Or multiple? Sort of like, in terms of alibis, have we got anyone that's only got like one other witness to say they were where they were?
I think in both cases, right?
Yeah, most folks only have
Frederick and Jacob,
one.
Frederick and Jacob, we were in the coach together.
Yeah.
Rupert and Brigida, we were in the coach together. But they didn't say Dorothy was in the coach with them, did they?
No, they both said that she wasn't with them, but they didn't know where she was.
Yeah.
She's the one who said she was with a sick child, but you have been unable to identify them.
But when you say about two people working together, Dorothy and Jacob are a couple, as it were. And if she killed him Hegger, that would get him potentially get off the mutant, thing that everyone is pointing him to being a mutant, and obviously Sigmar would have something to say for that. And
but she admitted that she knew he was a mutant, I thought.
Well, Dorothy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she knows because.
Yeah.
But I meant the guy that was killed.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he might have.
Would be the one who would be most offended, and well, not offended, but he would be the one that do something about it when they found out.
Yeah, he'd have both. He'd have both families in his hands, actually. Right. One for being a mutant, one for marrying a mutant, and supporting that quote unquote cause.
So I'm thinking that potentially the two of them are working together. Dorothy might be the one that actually did the deed of murder, but Jacob sort of was
planning all the evidence and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then one of the other members of the family, Brigitte or one of the other Durhambacks, had planted the weapon to make it look like it was Frederick, because they're both trying to set each other up with a chaos note from one family and a weapon found in the family coach of the other family, and so they're both trying to set each other up.
Which family was implicated in previous poisonings?
Dernbach's.
Well, Dorothy was supposedly killed her previous husband.
Yeah, if we had more power, we could just say, okay, Brigitte, you've been accused of working with chaos. Burn the witch, right? If any of us were a witch hunter, right? We could do that.
What evidence do you have that she's a witch?
Just the note. What planted or not, I mean.
Right, but so to what end though? Like what will be the purpose?
I know. I'm just saying I'm trying to think what priests of Sigmar would do.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
all these people are bad. I mean, no.
So who do we think planted the note then again?
Probably Frederick, or I don't know. One of the.
Who else said that she was a witch?
I think Frederick said she was.
No, Ruprecht also. Her.
Yeah.
And why might Ruprecht?
There's internal squabbling there. I mean, between them.
Yeah, because he wants to be head of the family.
Well, he is head of the family, right?
Nope.
No, Brigitte
is.
Oh, okay.
He got over.
That's why they hate each other. So
it went over his head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's why he hates her anyway.
So what would be his alibi to wanting the Sigmar, the priest of Sigmar, Edgar dead?
So there's a difference between the alibi and the motive.
Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
One of the ways to think of it is that Latin phrase "cui bono," who profits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who profits from the murder of the priest, and that might be because that is at the in spite of all the different things going on amongst these families, really the only question you need to determine is who killed the priest. Yeah. And one of the ways to determine that is cui bono, who profits from the priest's death.
Yeah, so I think the brother probably tried to set up Brigitte. That would be my guess, because if she was found out to be a chaos follower or whatever, she would be.
But does that relate to the murder of the priest?
No, it doesn't.
Well, that's what I was trying to establish. Mm. Is there a way that he stands to profit from?
Is there any way that Ruprecht directly benefits?
No, I mean, that to me, that's like one of these things. Like next time we're somewhere in civilization, we go to the local witch hunter office and go, "Hey, you should probably investigate these people because of the circumstantial evidence we found." Yeah, I think it's beyond our.
No, he's almost worse off, isn't he? Is he almost worse off?
He wants Hegger to find out she's a chaos follower and get rid of her so he can become head of the family.
And what about Greta? If we go around the people, how does Greta benefit from his murder?
Well, she won't benefit either because she won't get paid for killing them all.
Yeah, she doesn't benefit from her. She doesn't benefit at all because her payday was going to be assassinating Durenbox at the thing.
How does Brigitte benefit from the murder of the priest?
Well, only if he knows about her chaos follower, or chaos sort of.
Well, that would only.
But then we have no evidence that he knew about that.
Yeah, that hasn't been confirmed.
He's not. I mean, even though he's like Hagar's like the big blackmailer.
Yeah.
You don't know.
That's what I'm saying. That was only if he'd already knew that, and
but we don't. We have no evidence.
Aaron's the only one that's being blackmailed at this present time, or the time of the murder.
And potentially Jacob, right?
Potentially, yeah. If Hagar knew, potentially, yeah. What about Everett Setzinger? Is there anything that the Durenbox man-at-arms would benefit from the murder of the priest?
Well, he wouldn't be blackmailed, but it's a bit late now because it's all come out. And...
Well, I'm talking about Everett Setzinger, not Aaron Stretchthorpe.
Oh,
Everett, yeah. Everett Setzinger is...
Yeah, we haven't talked about him. What do we know about the other...
I mean, I don't know. The men-at-arms, I think it's far-fetched anyway, because they're like killers with, big blades and stuff. They're not like poisoners.
Yeah, and there's a relationship between Arendt and Everett, but... The difference, Arendt wanted to see an end to the conflict because whereas Everett was like, fuck it, I keep getting paid for this one way or the other.
Everett's like your pure mercenary, so it wouldn't benefit him, right? As long as there's a Cold War, he benefits. He doesn't want a flat out conflict because that puts a warrior in danger. So, but this Cold War, he keeps getting paid,
Yeah.
So, status quo is he's good with that, and then Arendt, of course, had the blackmail thing.
Yeah.
But he seems like the most honest dude among all these people, unless Kevin's been really stringing us along. That'd be.
I will tell you that there are definitely tricks and twists and turns in it, but one of the things I love about this adventure, it is absolutely fair. You can make reasonable assumptions without bullshit being, as long as you do the work and you uncover the clues and you investigate the things, there isn't an unfairness to this mystery, which is, I think, really satisfying as a game. Before we leave the Durenbox, what about Dorothy? Will be her.
She has a double motive, right? So, she wants the peace. She seems to be sincerely love Jacob. If he was going to be, blackmailed or thrown under the bus, then if she loves him, right? And she sincerely feels for him, then that would be one motive, and then the other one would be this priest blackmailing the family, and she seems pretty loyal to the family. So I think she does have the most motive, right?
Yeah, so turning to the Kreutzfelds, we talked about Arendt. What does Friedrich? Does Friedrich stand to benefit in any way from the death or the murder of this priest?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. And again, he's second in line. He's behind his brother, isn't he? He probably wants to be head of the family, but I think he's come to the decision, or he's accepted that, his brother is head of the family. I don't think he's got anything to gain from it.
And what about Jakob?
Well, we don't think that the priest is going after.
Have we looked at
for the mutant bit?
Have we been able to look at the priest's effects or studied them in detail? Does he have correspondences or anything like that? I mean,
the priests of Sigmar would have, or the acolytes would have gone through there, but they're the ones who were looking through the physical remains. But one of the things you remember that the old guy overlooked a secret compartment where you found that blow dart, or the blowgun with the blow darts in them. Yeah. So they may not be doing a thorough search, but also they may have reasons for not permitting a search of the victims things, partly because of they don't want blame to go back on the priests, and also because they don't want the church to look bad. If there is a blackmailer among their number, probably not a great look for the most influential cult in the empire. There's certainly opportunity for the Church of Shalia and the Church of Manon to up their influence with the newly minted elector count in Nordland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and then Matthias Netzen, he is on here too, but I think you guys have well really to get debunked him.
I mean, again, like dealing with the blackmailers and corruption, the Church of Sigmar is one of those. Like we send a note to the Church of Ulrich and go, hey, you guys should look into this, and
yeah,
that's the other big church in the area, I think so.
When one of your
stand again,
to use an analogy from the day job, if Katerina is thinking of ways to advantage her church in the larger kind of strategic thing between the two, that's partner level thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a. But I don't know. Katerina is probably too moral to, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So.
To think that.
Yeah, I guess she's just thinking: is there going to be some incriminating evidence that will help to solve the crime? Simple as that.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I wonder if we haven't been able to look at anything the priest might have had. Any of his correspondence or anything.
Mm-hmm. But how would that change what you have before you right now?
It could show that he actually might be blackmailing someone else besides Aaron.
But surely there's a way you could find that out without having to go through his materials, right?
Talk to Jacob and Dorothy.
Yeah,
I think we've got to further question them two, haven't we? They're the prime suspects now.
Question them together? I mean, I'm supposed to go have a little prayer session with Dorothy at some point.
I will tell you, this is from my actual day job. I foolishly, while in law school, prepped two witnesses together at the same time.
Yeah.
And then when they gave evidence at trial, they're like, well, they were saying the exact same words, so why would you believe them? Says the other counsel, and I'm like, of course they fucking did.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's
giving them an opportunity to prep together definitely gives them an opportunity to share the same story in a later part.
Right.
I mean, questioning them is not the same thing as prepping them, obviously, but...
Yes, that's why cops put, perps in different cells to see if the story is corroborated.
Mm.
Do we think we've got enough authority to challenge Jacob about the whole mutant thing? Or is that gonna just end badly?
It could. Ultimately, it will be the Church of Sigmar. As Carl's alluded to, they are the ones who are the witch hunters and whatnot. They will be the ones taking the whoever you deem to be guilty into custody. But I mean that's.
I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, Katerina says I do not think that's a good idea. I think he is way above our station. It's like he can totally deny it, and then that's just it's heresy. And what's that? When you accuse someone and they sue you for defaming or defamation.
Yeah.
And then we'd be more and more trouble, whether it's or not.
It's only because
it's better. Honestly, it's better to just talk to our local witch hunter chapter, wherever we get to, Salzamund or wherever, and let them know that there is these accusations among the people, and let them do their own investigation, because they would have the authority, right? Or not, or if the Church of Sigmar is truly corrupt here in Salzamund, well, they just collect blackmail.
Mm.
In terms of evidence, do you think we've got any chance to find some poison or you know.
Greta mentioned before that, well, for one, the poison she had on her was not the kind she offered to drink it to show you. It's a paralytic, not a lethal poison. But I think she also mentioned that you would, like, if she was in it, you would never find it. She would dispose of it as soon as it was used.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
The ones we found hadn't been used. We found some vials or something in the...
Yeah, they were full, and there was one missing dart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had no way to pin that on anyone, did we?
So if we think it's...
And this poison's like ingestible? Is that what Greta suggested?
No, it's that she was going
Bloodstream.
to... Yeah, she prefers to use steel for certainty when she's at work. The blow dart, the blowgun was hers, and the blow darts were hers, but the poison that was in there was a paralytic, not a lethal poison. And she offered to drink it to show you.
But if she drank it would paralyze her.
Exactly, would not kill her. And Herr Hager was killed by a lethal poison.
Right. Yeah, well, I guess that's what she would do. She'd blow dart him, paralyze him, and then kill him at her leisure.
Though that would require someone else to have a fairly high-level knowledge of poisons. You know, just stumble across stuff that with a single blow dart could kill a grown man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But as you guys have pointed out, there does seem to be one family that is familiar with such science.
Yeah.
So if we think it's Dorothy, how do we go about actually like putting that together and accusing and like? What
you would do is let what's his name, brother? Oh, I want to say Netson, but I don't think that's right. Kremsa.
Yeah, Kremsa.
Kremsa is. I'll bring him back up here as well. He is the remaining agent for the Church of Sigmar. So you would just tell him who to arrest, and then they will arrest who you've deemed to be that, and then they will be put on trial. So if you were to put a name to it now, having spoken to all of them, having uncovered some, if not all, of the secrets of these two feuding families, who do you think killed the priest?
Well, that's who's got my vote, but...
Yeah. I mean, Dorothy, she's the one whose alibi is like a lie, right? It's an outright lie, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. It's looking like that.
And then, I mean, if Jacob's in collusion, then they're trying to like, run damage control. Plan evidence, misdirect. But we don't have, I mean, that's more circumstantial. That would have to come out of like confession or something.
Circumstantial, it's...
Yeah, I mean, I know. This is...
it's one of the things I love about this. Honestly, one of the things I really love about this thing is that it's a fucking great example of... Like, circumstantial evidence is not bad evidence, right? Like, it's circumstantial evidence is one of those things that contributes towards it. And in the real world, it's rare you get a circumstance where it's like that court, the interrogation room breakdown you see in like Law and Order or whatnot. Like, what you do is you put together your best theory of it, realizing that people are probably going to fucking lie and you're probably not going to have everything towards you, and you go with what your best understanding of what happened is. And this adventure, I think, does a fucking great job of that. Of like, well, no one's going to break down here and say like, oh, I did it. You just got to put together your best, theory of it. And part of that is circumstantial evidence. And yeah, having only circumstantial evidence is not a great way to get a conviction and an easy way to get a false conviction. But when you pile those up, do you have enough for it to be beyond a reasonable doubt?
Reasonable doubt, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that's me gushing day job stuff. But what do you guys think then? Is that who you're bringing to it? Is it...
What would be the next steps? They arrest her, keep her under guard. and then
they would arrest her and decide
trial.
decide what needs to be done. She will be brought back to Salzmann. She'll be tried by the courts of the Elector Count.
Is she the one that's the former sister?
Yeah, she's a priest of Shalia.
Well, that's a bit of a bummer, isn't it?
Wow. Katerina realizes, especially seeing the corruption of the Church of Sigmar, that, piety can be lip service.
Yeah.
It's amazing
for sure.
about the game. I'm not sure this is necessarily intentional, but one of the really interesting things about the game is that you can certainly advance up in the priest career without ever learning how to cast spells. So you can have no true connection to your god and still be a very high-ranking priest.
Yeah, well, this our best. It's our best. I don't want to say guess. It's our strongest suspect.
Yeah.
So you have motive. You have opportunity because you can't explain where she is. What's the means? That's the trifecta. Means, motive, and opportunity.
Well, the means is poison. We know that she's been a poisoner. Or that she's done that in the past, right? Or the rumor is strong.
Definitely rumors, yeah.
And if anyone knew about how to, do a lethal poison, it would be...
Okay. Then, what do you guys wish to do?
Well, we need to go and see Matey.
Speak to the priest.
Talk to Raymer, yeah.
Okay.
Raymer.
So you guys pull Raymer aside. He has been finishing up with further preparations, perhaps dealing with one of the coachmen who is really eager to get things moving again. He sees you approaching and says, "Oh, is there, Sister Katerina, have you further investigations that we need to undertake?"
I do not think so. I think we've come to an agreement.
You've identified the culprit, then?
Yes.
Who? Who would see the justice of Sigmar?
We believe it is... I look at my fellow... I guess I'm the spokesperson. All right. We believe it is Dorothy Durenbach.
He looks over. Truly? You would accuse one of your order, former, a lapsed priestess.
Former is the key.
What reason? I trust that your investigation has borne truthful fruits, sister. But why? Why would she kill him?
Out of character, does he know about the blackmails and stuff? You don't have to.
I think that's probably come out, at least the money. I don't think you've expressly advised him of that, but you certainly could do so. That's not...
You know what? I will just say, you know what? I'll say for love. She did it for love.
But why?
Do we have to give all the... do we have to tell him everything?
I mean, if you want her to be convicted, then yeah, unfortunately.
All right. He says whether it is true or not. There was this rumor that Jacob Kruschfeld could have some mutation. If that were to get out, well, the ramifications would be great, whether it's true or not, the rumor. So I think she's just protecting his love. There is no account of where she was during the attack, where everyone else has an alibi.
Wait. Herr Kreutzfeld had... Are you saying that he had connections to these things that attacked the caravan?
Yes, that could be another investigation in total. But I do not know if that's beyond that is beyond the investigation of the murder at hand. But that is a possibility.
You are correct.
I think your man to talk to about that would be Eric Stressdorp. Because he's the one, right out of character, he's the one who said that.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
Right. So.
And if murder he has information on this heresy.
On the mutant attack, yes. On this heresy. But again, I am a humble priest of Shalia. We do not. That is Herr Kremse, Father Kremse. That is the domain of the Church of Sigmar to stamp out heresy. Ours has been tasked to find the murderer.
No, and you have completed your task. Imagine Herr Hager thought himself necessary to bring these families together, and yet they had been brought together already with a dark purpose. And he looks kind of suspiciously at the two families. Do you think they are all in league with this?
I'm sure that they all have some knowledge of the truth, whether speculated or not. Perhaps Jacob Cruzfeld might be in collusion, but that may or may not come out under interrogation during a court proceeding. Again, we are not witch hunters or interrogators.
Yeah, and you see he's looking back and forth between the two. Think you that could the cults of the ruinous powers run so deep between the two that it is a feud among the rival cults, even?
Oh, that is an interesting possibility.
You can give us.
I'm not a cult. I'm not a lore. I don't have a. I didn't take. I have that. That is actually a skill.
It is, yeah. But what you could do.
No, I have. There's a lore. There's a talent I can get, like cult lore or cult, but I haven't gotten it yet. And
what you can do. Let me double check that this is the skill I'm looking for here.
I have theology, but that would be a stretch.
Yeah. I mean, theology would be a more difficult role to get to what I'm thinking of here. Yeah, hold on. I think it's just... I think it's perception. Hold on. Intuition.
Intuition.
Yeah,
okay.
you can give us an intuition check, please, at average. Frederick and Alwyn, you can also do that if you'd like.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm gonna use a
Fate point?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, except be a crit fail. Oosh. Okay.
I didn't mine. No.
Yeah, that 55, right? That would have been.
No, I got an 87.
Oh, an 87, right? Your target number is 55. Yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah.
Crit success. There we go.
You gave me the reverse kibosh.
Yeah. So yeah, what you can tell Katerina is, I mean, this guy may be, you know, the it's an apt saying that, you know, when you have a hammer, every problem seems a nail. Well, the Sigmarites have nothing but fucking hammers. So the fact that he's trying to read in like some kind of chaos thing with this, he may just be reading a lot more into this than, you know. You've definitely seen what the as a priest of Shalia, you likely have a more not jaded, but like a more practical perspective on some of the things. Sure. And like the priests, just like in our world, the priests of the witch hunters of the old world catch up a lot of innocent folk along this with their the true heretics.
Yeah, they get a bit irrational about it all, don't they?
Little out of control with it. Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you think about it, right, it would make it's as if they're like an assistant DA, right? And then they find the nobles are the ones who are full of chaos. This will make their career. Oh, we brought them these noble houses.
You know, and
vote for me for DA.
Exactly. And leading a crusade against these two families, that might be this guy has not struck you thus far as being like an overly scheming individual, but others in the church, if they feel that there's a corrupt guy who has made the church falter in the eyes of the elector count, what better way to redeem yourself than by identifying two problematic families as heretics, burning them out and turning that property over to the elector count? Like that's what simply you can read with that crit success on this is that this is a guy who, comes from a church that sees heresy behind every, thing. They'll burn hedge witches and whatnot as well, who have no connection to the Church of Sigmar, and you would know that, where the mercy of Shalia does not reach, those folks will fill a important gap in kind of like local healthcare. So, but in any event, he sees that and he says, then if that is who you have deemed guilty of this crime, we will bring her to Sigmar's justice and the justice of the elector count.
Yeah.
So
very well.
He nods, and Jacob speaks to Raymar speaks to his fellow priests, and then
should we be concerned about like violence, resistance?
Could be. I mean, who knows, right?
All right. Before he does that, should we call it like errant over? Or
let's get him on side.
So do you want to tell Raymar just to hold off for a moment?
Well, did we give Greta back her poison? I don't know. No.
No, it's still with the Sigmarite priests. You guys had it briefly when you were asking questions, and you gave it back to them, okay. I believe.
I was going to ask her if you can paralyze someone if you put it on like a weapon or something. But
I mean, it was with the blow dart stuff, so
yeah. But I don't. Yeah. Because Alwyn's a good shot, I think. Just in case.
Not bad.
Don't worry, you guys have a terrifying dwarf companion. Oh wait, no.
He's not here.
I know. So what do you guys?
Man, those iron breakers can get disgusting with all the talents that they can accumulate.
Yeah. Do you wish to hold? So what do you want to tell Raymar? Raymar right now is getting his people together to take her into custody.
I said I tell Raymar we should be prepared for violence, resistance.
He says, "We will do so."
Yes, Frederick, if you want to go talk to Errant, and or Greta. I mean, those are your people, I think, right? The camp followers.
Well, we can go and have a chat with him. I mean, Alwyn, how well did you get on with Aaron?
I mean, he seemed fairly happy to talk to us once he was out of employment. He was happy to talk to anyone, really. He sort of...
I think we should let him know. We've made our decision. Just be prepared for violence.
And Greta?
She'd want money, probably.
Yeah. With 500 gold pieces to share.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not ours yet, though, is it? So...
I'm sure, I would look the other way if some of it went missing and she took her cut. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, she'll certainly look after herself if anything goes wrong.
Katarina's feeling cynical with all this priestly corruption.
I think as long as we keep together, look after each other.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Well, I think I would just say let Aaron give him the heads up.
Yeah,
we could have a word with her and maybe say to her, could she sort of like fire the blow dart at anybody that gets out out of hand and just paralyze them, and then we can apprehend them.
Yeah, but that's evidence. I think it's been taken into custody.
Yeah, that's we don't have it. It's evidence that the Sigmar has.
You could, in theory, request it back, but it's the kind of like, it's not truly. It's a weapon, I guess, but it's a weapon of silence and secrecy, right? Like, the only way to be really effective with that is to make sure that dart hits in a place where that gets exposed to skin and whatever else. And
all right, well, maybe we should call Arendt and Greta over to make it look like they're the ones who might be accused, and then have Raymer, so that they're with our group, and then have Raymer do, when the acolytes do what they need to do.
Raymer will hold off
that
until.
Seems like a good.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that seems like a good idea because they're the most au fait with this sort of thing. I'm just a hunter. That he's got experience of battles, and she's got experience of all this political skullduggery and keeping herself alive whilst making sure others are dead. So they seem like ideal people to speak to at this point in time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So if you give a gesture to, or speak to Brother Raymer, and tell him that you will be, you're going to talk to them before he makes takes his.
We'll give him a nod. Like
when he's ready to go. Okay. Mm-hmm. So he agrees to that.
Okay.
So who do you want to? Do you call both of them over, or do you call them one at a time?
Might as well call both of them over, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a massive. I mean, it's going to get announced shortly anyway, so it's not going to be a big shock. I don't think.
So
people are watching what's going on, but
so you step back to where away from the noble families and towards where the two are. You gesture to bring both of them over. They both seem to be like eyeing one another a little, like, why the fuck are you being called? Kind of thing. So they both walk over, and Arendt says, "Yes, was there something further you wish to speak to me about?" And Greta kind of icily says, "Perhaps it's your blackmail, old man." And he, the slut.
Because we have stand ready to make our accusation, but I wanted to, as a courtesy for your cooperation, give you a heads up, just in case there is violence.
Color drains out of Aaron's face, and Greta just sort of fixes her jaw.
That's how I say it. I mean, I don't know if you guys want to add anything. No. Okay. And I just give a nod.
Aaron says, I tell you, I swear, on Sigmar and Shalia and Manan, I did not kill him.
No, relax, Aaron. We're not pointing the finger at you, mate.
There's a gasp, and he's... No?
No.
But lower your head, like as if you both were. I suggest.
Oh, he sheepishly looks back and forth, and let's see how his deception goes. It's not a man trained in crit fail.
Oh no! He starts jumping up and down.
Oh, yeah, like the trouble is this big dude, like he may definitely have some strengths, as a warrior or whatnot. He will mean as a card player, as a actor, he is not a great one. And Greta looks up at him and says, "Oh, good God, man." And she says, "Look as if you've lost your noble love for Sigmar's sake." And he just can't, he's trying now to act like, oh, and it's just so fucking obvious to anyone looking that he is clearly relieved by whatever he's been told. And if you three, Sparrow, look back at the families, they're sort of gossiping among one another.
Yeah, well, I would give Raymer a nod to do it. I mean, we could all play this off and say we decided that we were going to hire Errant, and he's very relieved that he has a job now.
Yeah.
We put in a good word to the electric count for him. We could say something like that.
He looks. You would do so?
Oh, sure, why not? Just make sure we don't all get killed.
You fear violence.
Oh, come on. I mean, these are powerful families. I'm being practical.
No harm will come to you while I stand, my lady.
Well,
that's a relief.
Give him a slight nod.
So,
glancing at Greta, when she hears this, what is her reaction to this kind of exchange between the henchman and Katerina?
She also, you can tell there's a slight relaxing. The way she fixed her jaw, it seemed as if you were going to throw the two of them under the bus.
Right.
You know, as it were.
I mean, at least Aaron had motive, right?
Aaron did too, but I mean, like you did hear, you didn't confirm it with her, but you heard from Everett that they had seen her before.
Yeah.
So if she was, making the rounds in another another area, someone's being blackmailed. Maybe that money's better spent killing the blackmailer rather than, paying them off and waiting to pay more at a later date. And he was connected with the family that engaged her as well.
Yeah,
so,
but her payday was going to be killing the Durenbachs.
Exactly. But I mean, I think that it's not to say there was any credit or merit to the accusations, but if there's a guy being blackmailed and there was an assassin on hand, she's seen enough of this world to know that you could happily throw her under the bus. But as soon as you say it's not Errant who's being blamed, then she relaxed and seemed like, oh. It's not, you're trying to find who actually did this. You're not just trying to find patsies to serve as this. So she seems, as relaxed as you're likely to see her. She is a very cool customer.
Okay. Unlike
Errant, who is now happily serving as a what do you call it? He will serve as your effective bodyguard, Katerina.
And whilst there's a bit of distraction with Errant jumping up and down and being excited and pledging his allegiance and everything, could I just sort of say to Greta now, Greta, if this was to kick off and you was in my position, who would you drop with the longbow first? Who's likely to be the most trouble, would you say, in your understanding of things?
Why don't you give us a charm check, please? This will be an average.
Okay. Average.
Yeah. And I can't remember what talents all of you have, but just remember that some of those talents grant to success levels, and it doesn't show up in the...
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Shoot, I have Suave, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Oof. That's a shocker.
All right, dearie. What do you think is going on here?
I just spat in her eye.
Yeah, exactly. Reeking the booze. You could spend a fortune and re-roll that if you like.
Yeah, I do. I don't want to be known for that, really. I'm not putting my name to that roll. All right, I'll spend that in a minute. I'll roll it now.
Crit success. Nice. All right, so she, one corner of her mouth kind of goes up in a smirk. And she says, well, you're assuming, dear, that I wouldn't simply disappear while the fights are going on. Running is rarely a bad strategy. But if there were one to be concerned of, Setzingen, for all his faults, is an accomplished warrior, and lodging an arrow in his knee, I'm certain, would eliminate the protection or at least the enthusiastic protection that they might offer to their masters. But, of course, if you were being smart, run.
Yeah. I'm known more for my charm than my smarts, good lady.
With those mutants out there, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
She seems to be impressed by that.
Yeah,
maybe-
she's wise counsel, I feel. Wise counsel. And I like give a little cheeky nod.
Yeah, and it was wise of you, Master Schuster, to be seeking it out.
You just smile. Just a smile like a, well, thank you very much. You know?
Yeah. So then, you guys have had your chats with Greta and with Arendt. Arendt is now taking his place near you, Katarina, for wherever you go.
Make sure I know where that man is.
Everett?
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, do you want to say anything to
Yeah.
Alwyn? I think Alwyn's the one who's the archer, right?
I'm a pretty good shot.
Oh,
I
are
would
you?
tell
Okay,
Alwyn,
yeah.
though. Yeah.
Oh, right, you're a hunter, of course. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we're both pretty tidy bowmen.
Isn't Alwyn a
haven't got
bandit?
He's an outlaw, so a brigand at the moment, but he hasn't got a bow, so that's a bit of a...
The bowless brigand.
Yeah.
Avast, ye scoundrel.
right. Well, so are we going over? So does Raymer want us to go with?
No, he
Or
will
is
do
he
it.
gonna- yeah, okay.
Yeah, if you but you could position yourself where you'd like. Remember the Kreutzfelds, then the Durenbachs, and then the carriage that had the now the body of Herr Hager, and the priests of Sigmar are at the front. The Durenbachs are kind of on one side of the road. The Kreutzfelds are a little further up on the side of the road. Both of them together. Arendt is walking with you. The rest are at the back of the caravan. Raymer is up near the front and ready to take your...
Yeah, I think we'd be near the. Well, for two purposes. One, it could be the coach of Sigmar could be a good point of cover or defense, but it's also at the front, and we could run away if we need to. So, on Greta's suggestion, so we could be near the, and also to maybe give us a semblance of authority. We'll be near the. Well, I would say we stand near the coach of Sigmar.
Yeah. And as you say, there are some mutants about too, so any one of you, it's not unreasonable for you to have your weapons out if you need.
Yeah. I've got my weapon out. And
I just lean on my staff.
I just say to my companions, I've just had to chat with Greta. I'm nervous about this, Everett. I'm gonna ready myself. Any sign of trouble, I'm shooting him in the leg. I'm gonna take him out. I'm taking him out. So I've got my longbow. I'm ready. But I thought I'd better just let you guys know. She did recommend that we run, by the way, but
Not
I'm not
into
having any of that.
Not into a mutant-ridden forest, but
no, I'm not having any of that. But I'll just let you know I'm ready with a bow. So if I start shooting, you know why. It means he's making a move.
Okay.
Well, I think we should keep ourselves close together to protect each other. But I think we should also split our gaze so we can keep eyes on both families. Just the reactions, for one, when it's announced. If anyone sort of can't hide the fact that they've been found out or stuff like that. And then also if there's any nods towards men-at-arms or things like that. So, we can...
Well, I'll mark Everett. I'll mark Everett then. And then how do you want to divide attention beyond that?
Just watching. I'm watching the principals. I want to make sure Raymer, does what he's supposed to do. See what happens.
So then, Alwyn, do you want to watch?
I'm gonna keep an eye on the Durenbach sort of group to see what reaction there is when they're accused, and see if they immediately jump to aggression, or if there's any telltale signs of they've worked it out, something that will give away that they could be, especially Dorothy, that she's guilty, and just looking for any signs that may give them away or give us the jump if there is going to be any sort of violence. So that's where I'll be focusing my gaze.
Okay. So then, if you give the nod to Raymer, you're keeping your eyes on everyone. Raymer steps forward and says, something to one of his, the older gentleman, walks over to Dorothy, speaks to Dorothy, and she's brought over towards Raymer. And then when she gets within about maybe like 3 paces of her, he nods to one of his other acolytes who then sort of flank around her. And he says, in that kind of like pulpit speaking, sermon voice, "Ladies and gentlemen, this part of the investigation has come to a close. I will require a representative to return with me to assist in reporting the details of this incident to Elector Count Theodoric Gausser. I have chosen Dorothy Durenbach." And there's sort of a murmurs through the crowd. "The rest of you may return to your families and homes. The Grand Barony of Nordland thanks you for your assistance during this most difficult of times." And there's a bit of kind of like looks that are going throughout the group here, and it's actually Jakob, not a member of the Durenbachs, who steps forward first and says, Are you placing her under arrest, Herr Raymer, or Herr Kremse?" And he frowns and says, "Only if she resists. Please do not force my hand." And Jakob steps forward and says, "This is ridiculous. Dorothy is a priestess of Shalnia. She has dedicated her life to mercy and the healing of others. I demand to know why she's been treated in this fashion. I will lodge a formal complaint with the Elector Count." And at that, Dorothy steps forward and puts her hand up. "Calm down, Jakob. I did kill him.
Oh.
And I do so again to protect our work. I told you it was to others to let others know they simply can't understand what we are trying to accomplish. Someday, perhaps, but not now." Jakob glances at the soldiers, seeming as if counting heads, and he says, "I won't let them take you." And he quickly detaches that brooch from his wrist, and he blows into it. Astrid kind of howls as it goes, and one of the Durenbach soldiers snatches it out of his hand. And Dorothy gives him a look of like, "What have you done?"
He just took, yeah.
And what she's done is remind us it's time for our mid-session break.
Mid-session break. Oh! He's just,
So we'll take our break, and we'll be back in 5 minutes and see what happens next. So for those listening at home, we'll be right back.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. I need to check the stats on something here. Ooh, you've used enemy wizards in your campaign, right, Carl?
Yeah. They never. I feel like they never get to do the cool stuff, but.
Damn players breaking all their tools or your toys.
Yeah. I mean, they can be dangerous given preparation, but it's. I mean, magic is challenging in this game. You know, you gotta
Plan
roll the
ahead,
channel,
right?
roll the channel, roll the magic. Yeah, you can't. I mean, I think they changed the rules in Winds of Magic that if you roll, but the risk is if you like fail the roll, then you don't get the spell, right?
Yeah.
But if you feel like if you're casting a lower level spell, you might as well just roll your magic roll and not your channeling roll.
Oh, and I think doesn't it speed up channeling as well too? That it's I thought
it's always been like success levels that you need. But if you get the success levels, then you can cast that same round. You don't have to wait another round.
That's right. Okay, so.
But I mean, I got like in the enemy within, like the players are casting like the spell where you turn into a demigryph and.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
But I mean, yeah, if they catch, like in this last operation in enemy within, they were smart enough to like keep pushing. Like they found out where like the cult base was, and the decision was, are we going to just come back then later? So there's not a lot of people or civilians around.
Yeah.
Because like it was like a business, right? And then operational business, and then they said no, we got to take care of it now. So because they took care of it now, then the wizard wasn't ready. But had they come back, and the wizard would have known, oh, something's up, you know, because they interacted with people in the company that they were that they had sussed. So.
Okay.
So I recommend 2 shows if you've got. So I've been Reacher is really good. It's crazy and fun. I like Reacher. And then I binged the Brother Son.
How was that?
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
it's good. Yeah.
I kicked because we
enjoyed it.
We had to cancel our game last night. I actually binged Fall of the House of Usher last night because I like those other what's his name? Not Mike Hawthorne. Mike, he's a comic artist. Mike something or other. He did Fall of the House, or he did the Haunting of Bly Manor and the Haunting of Hill House and Midnight Mass before. I fucking loved it. It's all just like it's a anthology of 4 stories. There's an overarching story that's going between it, but each of them is kind of an homage to an Edgar Allan Poe short story or novel or poem or stuff. Great cast, really fun, really good performances. Mark Hamill plays the character Arthur Gordon Pym from from the Poe's, only novel, and I really enjoyed it. He's got a great eye for horror kind of stuff anyway, and a fun way of structuring. He seems to do a really good job with the like fixed length of a season format, where he knows sort of how to pace it out over the whole season and to take advantage of each individual. So each individual episode is worth seeing and is enjoyable, and you get something out of it. But the overall plot of the whole art season is also quite good. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I think I like Midnight Mass a little bit more just because it was a more, I don't know, I just enjoyed it a little bit more. It was a little more operatic than this one. This one was also, Midnight Mass was shot pre-COVID. This one was shot during COVID, like the worst of COVID. So you can tell that the sets aren't like, there's not as many people on set. There's not as, expansive a place. A lot of it feels more like a stage play, but really enjoyable anyway. Plus a great idea of how you could, in RPGs, take a high concept idea of like, I want to do a campaign that is all influenced by X, and then incorporate those into different, ideas.
That's a bit like the when all you got's a hammer, everything looks like a nail. When you play RPGs, everything looks like an adventure, doesn't it?
It's always the way I'm not a writer, I'm not a, screenwriter or anything like that. So my way of telling stories and stealing story ideas and putting them through is through running games, right? And I think it does definitely give a great structure that you could follow. Well, I mean, last year's Year of Ill Omens was kind of, that was a very structured, high concept, way of implementing a certain idea across, 6 sessions. I'm not comparing the two. The Hill House, this show was fucking awesome. But it's a similar type of thing where you could, run a theme and do fun nods to Easter eggs and things like that without making it, without taking away from the overall story. Right, like sometimes when you're doing those kind of things that are going to include references or whatnot, there's a little too much like nudging the side and like, hey, you see it, and that takes away from the overall story itself. And this seems all to service the story as opposed to detract from it. So good stuff. But that's great to know about Brother Sun. I saw that one on there when I was figuring out what to put on. So I'll check that out.
Yeah, I liked it. That's good.
Okay. So it seems as if both Jakob and Dorothy are being taken into custody by Raymer.
All right, but he blew the horn.
He blew something, a whistle. I mean, like, Alwyn, you've spent enough time training with Astrid to know what she reacts to. It's some kind of whistle that it seems only Astrid was able to hear.
That's his mutant forces being assembled, I would wager.
Yeah, I would definitely be looking to the woods. Okay.
So you guys are keeping an eye on the woods. What you would see otherwise, Katerina, is that both Dorothy and Jakob are placed in handcuffs and they're led further to the north, to the front of the caravan, where they will be placed in the Sigmarites caravan. And as Raymer does, sees them off, he is completing some forms, and he asks you, Sister, I know we have expressed this before, but I believe the Elector Count will truly wish to thank you for your assistance and that of your allies. And that you will be rewarded handsomely for seeing such a successful resolution to what could have been an absolute disaster, and serve to only foster further division between these families.
It could still be disastrous. I think he probably called for his mutants.
They were such paltry foes before.
But that was a false attack. It was a show. This might be more serious.
Aaron looks down and realizes you're serious, and he says, "My lady, if you are correct, we should take care to form some kind of defenses. And that would each of you kindly give us a challenging perception check, please."
Is that on combat? Is that on the combat thing?
No, it's under the skill tab. So I think the first tab.
Oh, it's on the melee section.
Oh, yeah.
On the basics.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Got you. I'm going to re-roll that.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay.
Nice, Katerina. Nice, Frederick.
Well, he was on high alert there, really, wasn't he?
Crit fail by Alwyn. Alwyn, I think the dog is nuzzling up against you like, and you're like, look, come on. Hey, come on. And is distracting you thoroughly from this. Astrid seems quite agitated, but keeps drawing your attention rather than allowing you to see why she's agitated. Katerina and Frederick, you almost can't believe your eyes with what you see. There are small barrels that go rolling in from the side, one under each of the... Oh, it's not barrels, forgive me. It is small, like, metal,
Sensors.
Cartoony bombs. Yeah.
Cartoony bombs, exactly. Like the Age of Sail, grenades kind of thing. One rolls under each of the wagons, and you can see there is a stream of smoke coming off from each.
Yep.
Now you can each give us a, let's see, what would this be?
Yeah, I guess they are called grenades, so we can yell grenade.
Yeah, the grenades is a word for it. These are definitely bigger than grenades for what is being thrown out. Why don't you... let's say evaluate. And we'll make this easy. So we plus 40 to your skill. So Friedrich and Katerina. Let's just see whether you identify what this is, because there could very well be a situation of like, what is going on?
Where's evaluating? I don't think I've ever seen
Oh, and that's a trained one. If not, just an intelligence. Oh, there we go.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I found it, but I'm not trained in it. So,
Okay.
So should I use intelligence then?
No, that's
the same.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah.
I'm going to use a fate point to reroll that.
Sure.
Because,
Okay. So, Friedrich, you've correctly identified it as a bomb.
Yep. Okay.
Same thing too, Katerina. You both have seen bombs. So then,
Run!
let's
Run away!
All right. So who's in the coach? I guess try to.
no one is no one is in either of the coaches at this time.
Okay.
With that good of a roll too, Katerina, what you can see, there are forms moving in the side of the road as well, and just a reminder of what the road is like, so you can understand or appreciate how they were able to sneak up on you. Yeah, this is a very overgrown area. They go rolling in, and what you can spy, there are at least 12 mutants, and they are much more heavily armored than what they were before. Not the simple, leather armor. They also have more hideous mutations than what the others did before. And there is a disturbing number of crossbows among their numbers as well. So why don't you guys each click? I think these are official ones, so I actually don't know. You may be able to not click on your token and just click on initiative, and it should populate the form properly, but I do not know.
I'm just going to click in just in case.
Yeah, nice. So, yep, that seemed to work. Awesome. Okay. So allow me to, let me see if I've got it here. Mutant.
What did you click on? Your guide?
It's on the combat sheet.
On combat.
Right under controls says initiative.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I think what I'm going to do, hold up, is move you guys out of the way here. We'll make some space on this sheet here. Let's move everybody else down for now. Except for Arendt, of course, who is standing by his new charge. You guys are. And let's make him a little more manageable size. There we go. Bring all of you back up here. Yep. And then we'll add a turn for Errant. We'll have a 30 on the nose. And it seems I use a lot of forests in my games. There's a lot of fucking things called forest something or other. Here we go. But this here is this. Bring this to the map layer. Gonna give you a little nicer, more evocative background for this fracas. And then let's set out Ye Old Mutants. Add a turn for them. Copy that. Paste that. I'll keep my initiative tracker well to the side so I don't accidentally delete it. I mean, I know
when that happens.
I do it so fucking often. It is one of the nice things running Savage Worlds because you never have to use the initiative tracker.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Go. Yeah, I still wish. I actually spoke to someone from Cubicle 7 this week, and they're taking the suggestion. I asked why they don't offer digital gift cards the way that other publishers do, because I run a lot more Cubicle 7 stuff on here than any other British publishers. So I asked if they would consider implementing that for next Christmas, and they said it was a good idea. So hopefully we'll see that. Yeah, they twice now I've accidentally, because I'll see something and I'll order it for a pre-order and then I'll forget that I ordered it and then order it again. Twice they've caught me of did you intend to order 2 of these things? And,
right.
Yeah.
I accidentally did that with a Coriolis product because they were all like discounted for Black Friday.
Oh, yeah.
So I have an extra copy of the second part of the Wrath of the Icons. So,
see, I've done that with a couple of things before, and Cubicle 7 is the only publisher that I've ever had follow up and say, hey, did you no, that's not true. Edge Studios or Fantasy Flight.
Oh yeah.
They've also done that of did you mean to order 2 copies of but
I might have bought one somewhere else, not through them, so it's possible.
Yeah, I've done that before where I've been impatient and pre-ordered from Amazon and then got a copy from. I've had this happen with some Paizo stuff before. Paizo stuff I don't mind because I can always give it away or, have a second copy around. I didn't need 2 copies of my Wrath and Glory starter set though, so I am glad that they followed up. All right, and then there is one leader among them too. Let me see here. Do I have something scary to use here? So they are not this heavily transformed, but I do need just. I think it would be worth having something that looks a little different from the others. So let's use this. Whoa!
Oh dear.
I'm sure he's friendly.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. the beast folk and the mutants are out and about. Their initiative is a 27. So here we go. Heroes go before henchmen. Katarina. Actually, let me. Do I have a more agitated track set up here? I think I do. There we go. This one's going out to Dave. He loves death and axes.
So, I mean, I guess she's going to look at Jacob and Dorothy. Are they like running away, or what are they going to do?
Yeah, so I guess what you've seen right now is those bombs have gone rolling underneath of the thing. So,
yeah.
Katarina, what would you like to do?
I'll probably try to tackle Dorothy and say, grenade!
So they're at the other end of they're unfortunately like right near the front of the thing. You'd have to start running the full length of the...
Oh, they might get blown up. Okay.
No, it doesn't seem that they're going to be blowing up the two of them. They've gone underneath the I mean, you don't have a lot of experience with bombs necessarily, but like from where they are, they're far enough away from them that it's unlikely they would be caught in the blast.
Okay. But they're far... I thought they were like 3 paces from us, or...
No. That was when she first surrendered to them. They've since been taken in custody. They've been walked up. They're about to be put in, like they're getting walked to be put into the first carriage at the front of the caravan. You guys are closer to the back right now.
Okay. And the whole... these are just the 12 in our area? Or are they like 12, like...
12 that are coming in from one side.
Oh, okay. All right. So there's others that are coming from... Okay. All right. I think she's just going to unlimber her sling and try to chuck a stone at one of these.
So I think you'd have to load the sling, though, right? It's got a loading thing, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Because I think it's with a range weapon, just more... It's a matter of both readying the weapon and also loading the weapon.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Sling hasn't got a reload quality listed.
No, it doesn't. Okay, so then...
So it's probably just quick to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
So...
the others seem to.
All right. That's what she's going to do.
Is she going to fire at someone?
Yeah, I mean, these guys aren't going to negotiate, I don't think.
Okay. So, give me a sec here. You're going to make your attack, but what is the range of a sling?
60. 60.
Okay, so then these guys are going to be in short range, but the intervening cover they have right now will... Where are those modifiers? We'll offset the plus 20 from... Oh, it's divided by 2. Never mind. So yeah, you're going to make an attack at minus 20, please.
Okay. It's going to miss, I'm sure, but...
Nah, so I put 1s on these dice, so... Yeah, that's not
So
far
close.
off. Jeez.
So close. Oh, well.
Okay, so you fire at them. Then it is Arrett's turn. Let's see if he succeeded on his perception check. I'm not sure he was.
I mean, she does yell, "We're under attack."
Okay.
Grenade.
Yeah. So he is going to. Oh, you know what? Why don't you each give us a willpower check first here? Also, not all. Each of you, Frederick. Katarina, you've already acted, so that's fine. Fred, just give us a willpower check, please. Or, sorry, a cool check.
Average, did you say?
Cool.
What did you say?
Yeah, an average.
Right.
Oh.
You want to fortune point that, or... I think you still have 3 left.
Yeah. I don't want to lose my cool right at the outset, ideally. Oh, for God's sake.
Oh my God. Okay.
I've lost my call, I guess.
So here's what. So you have actually I'm going to give you a Fear 1 check for this because of the crit fail, which means you're taking -10 on all of your actions until you make a challenging cool test. So you see these things roll down and your eyes kind of go big and you're sort of frozen in place. Katarina shouts out, "We're under attack." Arendt, unfortunately, is sort of looking back and forth, trying to figure out whether he should command his men or not. I rolled a crit fail on his perception check. And then the mutants creep forward, ready some things. Alvin, unfortunately, you did not notice it. You crit failed, which means the bombs go off. Each of the wagons has their, at least one, in some cases more, wheels blown off of them. The camp is in an absolute panic. And you can see, Katarina, that Jacob and Dorothy are beginning to run in the direction of where the mutants were. So then, Katarina, you're up first. What are you doing?
I'm gonna say they're getting away, and she's gonna run after them.
Sure. So why don't you give us a? Let's see here. What is your move?
I think all our moves are the same, but that's true. I don't know what it is. I thought it would be under combat, but it's not.
Okay. Why don't you give us an athletics check then, please?
Move is 4, 8, 16.
Okay. So you're beginning to run up the length of the caravan. Why don't you give us an athletics check?
Okay, challenging or?
This would be challenging, yeah, because it's going to be contested. We're just looking for your success level. And remember, if you got any talents that add to the success level. Nice! Okay. So that's 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're beginning to run up there, and Aaron says, "My lady!" And he goes running in your direction. Then it is Friedrich's turn. You want to first give us a willpower test cool check at challenging. You're still going to be able to act, just whether you're going to be able to recover. Okay, you collect yourself. Friedrich, what freaked you out about this?
I just think maybe I've seen these things, some sort of explosion before, and it just brings back some kind of vivid memory. I'm wondering perhaps where, I don't know.
It could have been maybe a mishap with
some hijinks we might have got involved with, some hijinks when I was a bit younger.
There could have been a Nuln is the city of cannons, right? So it could very well have been that something was, being transported up from Nuln to Salzunmund, and you saw a mishap with a barrel of gunpowder, and you saw just how much fucking devastation could come from it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, what would you like to do?
Well, seeing my companion and everybody running off without knowing the plan, I thought, what? And then just take off after him as quick as I can.
Okay, after Katarina?
Yeah.
Okay. So why don't you give us an athletics check then as well?
Okay. Challenging, is it?
Challenging, please, yeah. Because we're just counting your degrees of success here.
Oh, God.
Whew, you still have 2 fortune points left. You want to try again?
Yeah.
I'm starting my year off well. I'm going to be meeting my narrative metacurrency quota for the year in no time.
That's it.
Come on, big money. Oh, you stumble and fall. Okay, so Friedrich, you recover from your panic, but in your haste, you're maybe jostled by one of the other guards of the Durin box, and you spin and you eat dirt. Fortunately, that leaves you wide open. Katarina, you can hear the sound of whistling. Snaps, then whistling as a series of crossbow bolts are unleashed. But the sound that you hear finally is the splintering of armor behind you and the sound of air going out of Aaron's lungs. If you look back, there are 3 bolts from different angles sticking out of him as he drops to his knees and hits hard against the ground. Frederick, you are on the ground right now. You see that 3 of the mutants move a little further forward and gesturing towards Jakob and Dorothy. 2 others seem to be preparing other bombs to toss down into the group. So there are 2 with bombs, there are 3 assisting the others, and the others are either firing or reloading crossbows. The big one, who's most heavily armored and most heavily deformed, seems to be gesturing as well towards Dorothy and Jakob to come towards them. Alwyn, what would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm trying to assess where the most danger is to the rest of my group, because I'm not worried about the caravan people, to be honest. They're not high on my priorities. So Frederick's on the floor. Is there any mutants near him?
You have seen... Why don't you give us an average perception check?
Okay.
Because you have seen Arendt has run a little bit forward after Katerina, and he seems to have hit the ground, as does Friedrich. I just want to see if you can tell... Ooh. You want to fortune point that, or...
No, I think I'll just go with the fog of war situation.
For sure. So you can see there are at least 1 or 2 bolts sticking out of Arendt. So he seems to have been felled by that, and Frederick seems to have hit the dirt pretty fucking hard too. He may have been shot with a crossbow as well.
Okay. And are there mutants near Frederick?
Not near Frederick. They all, unlike last time where they were advancing forward, these seem to be staying to the one side. The Kreutzfeld lands, incidentally.
Yeah. How close are the mutants to Katerina, would I say?
Still off of the road. Katerina has been running the length of the road to kind of reach where they're leaving the road.
Okay. So his gut instinct will to go and check on Frederick, I think.
Okay.
Try and help him up if he is just like falling over.
So if you
or
rush over to him,
and
he did not get far in his running. You rush over and grab him. What do you say?
I'm just giving him a quick glance over to see if he's been sort of felled like Aaron with arrows or
And what does he see,
injured.
Frederick? You definitely have not been shot. It's only your pride that's been wounded.
I'm all right. Just defend yourself. Get him. Shoot him. I'm take him out. We're under attack.
Well, we need to catch up with Katerina.
Okay.
So I'll be helping up, and I think that's where I'll start to head next turn.
Then Katerina, what are you
How
doing?
close am I to them?
Well, they they get to act before you. They have left the road. They have, let's see, I'll tell you how much of a lead. 18. They are, so for in success level terms, they are about 10 away from you right now.
Like 10 movement?
You would need to make it, it's a contested roll. I'm just going to abstract it out for it. So you need to get 10 levels of success to
they're
breach.
way far ahead.
They are pretty far ahead right now, but you could do things like, you could try and sling one of the mutants who's accompanying them. You could still try and run after them too. Like they're going to be having a more challenge. Having left the road is harder for them. Their athletic checks are harder. What do you think?
I mean, that's really far. I mean, I don't know. Is Aaron's not dead though, right?
Uncertain.
I mean, her instinct as a priestess of Shalia is to help the fallen, so she's going to go back and check on Aaron.
Okay.
If he's still alive, she's going to try to use a blessing of healing.
Whoa!
I mean, I think that only gives like 1 point, but it might be enough to stabilize them,
absolutely.
Right?
Sure. Why don't you give us a heal check at, I think it'll be challenging only because of the circumstances.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the spell I think is just a pray check, but
Right, it's just, so you can see whether
just to
it's
see if he's
necessary or
dead.
not.
Yeah.
Then this isn't going to take your action for the heal check. You'll still be able to use your prayer.
No, I don't know.
No. So it's tough to tell. Like, he doesn't seem to be sense it, and like those bolts seem to have gone directly through his armor. So if you would like to...
I gotta try, right?
Pray, sure, absolutely. So then this will be a... Let's see here. It's a challenging...
Yeah, just...
Pray test.
Yep.
Come on.
Come on, Shalia. Okay.
Come on, Shalia.
Oh, come on. I'm gonna...
Fortune point that?
Yep.
You got it.
There's so many steps to go through because it thinks I'm like channeling.
Access. You should see the worst of it was the Witcher went, nice! Look at that. All right. So this is the first time we've seen you call on Shalia's grace. What do we see?
She's like, Shalia, do not let this warrior who protected your servant fall today. And she tries to, at least stabilize him.
Yeah. There's
it's like 1 or 2 points or something like that.
Let's see. What is it? It's blessing of healing?
Yeah, it might be like 1 point plus bone,
Let's see. Blessing of healing. Target heals 1 wound. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But that is enough. So he coughs, and you've stabilized him, and his eyes look terrified, and he looks up at you, and it's just, my lady. But you have saved his life.
For now.
For now, yeah. So he is down. Frederick, what are you doing?
I'm gonna return fire. Is there anywhere within?
Unless you're doing it from the ground, you are gonna have to scramble to your feet first.
Can I shoot from my knees or anything like that?
Why don't you do this? Give us an athletics check at let's say average, and then we'll see whether or not you are able to get up.
Average.
Yes, please.
I don't have to buy coffee.
Oh, for God's sake!
You want to fortune point that? You got 1 left.
No, I'll have to, won't I? Well, I'm not going to get anywhere. Right. Try again.
Come on. You're going to get to your feet unless you crit fail. Look at that! Success! All right, so you scramble up to your feet, and who are you firing at? There are an ample amount of targets that are out there.
Jacob Kruschfeld.
I could.
Yeah.
I could shoot the man himself,
so
although
then,
he's not shooting. He's not shooting at us.
So I forgot the weapons are on here. Fucking awesome. I love the GM screens from
yeah, it's nice.
Cubicle 7. They're so good.
Yeah, it has the skills on it too.
I love it. Skills. You know what? I keep teasing George about this because he gets embarrassed whenever we talk about the things he's worked on. But he helped design the revised edition West End Star Wars one, and it has a full fucking skill list on there.
Yep.
So let's see here. Bow. Range is 50.
I got a longbow, 100.
Longbow, 100. So this is definitely within range. And I think it's 50. The reach is yards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, it's
yards in this game. Yeah.
Yards.
So then, so there's definitely going to be short range. So plus 20 minus, basically roll with no modifiers.
Okay.
Because of I'm giving minus 20 for the intervening cover, but you line up your shot.
Okay. Challenging.
I watched Robin Hood Prince of Thieves over the holidays, so I've got a certain scene. Look at that shot! Holy shit! And it isn't contested, so that's 12.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Fucking great shot.
That time I rolled something decent.
Heck yeah. All right, and I'm just checking the qualities are damaging. And
yeah, damaging, yeah.
Right.
Damage 4 plus SB, whatever that is. Oh, strength bonus.
I think damaging is
7.
actually, doesn't that have to do with armor? For armor rating? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's see here. Damaging.
I have look up.
Use the higher, a damaging weapon, use the higher score from either the unit's dice or the success level. So the unit size was a 7, and success level was a 7. So actually, it's 14 points of
14
damage.
points of damage.
Jesus.
Fucking awesome. Okay, so then
That hurts.
Yeah, that's going to be a painful one, but I do subtract the toughness bonus and armor. That's even then. So you've hit him in the side, and he is quite badly injured by this. Not enough to take him down, but that's a fucking great shot. Then, wait, and does an impressive... is it 5 where it triggers a success? Sean was talking about this last session.
Oh, you mean like a crit? It could be a crit.
I wonder if it triggers a crit as well.
Woohoo.
Right? Because I thought he said that 5 over...
Is that a new thing?
No, I think it was an option. It might have been an optional...
I think it's with skills. It's like, yes, and you achieve your goal with style exceeding your expectations.
Oh, it might be 6 or
So
higher.
maybe-
6 or higher is the next tier up from that.
Yeah, astounding success.
So that's pretty close, though. But yeah, great. Not taking anything away from your shot there, Friedrich. That was terrific. He staggers to the side. He actually, you know what?
That'll learn him for rolling explosives at a Schuster.
Exactly. Then the mutants are reloading, and you see 2 more bombs are tossed down into the midst of the Durenbach and the Kreutzfeld guards. And that big mutant goes lumbering towards where his master is, where Jakob is, to try and help carry him. Alwyn, what are you doing?
Okay, so they're not in melee range, any of these guys, so...
No.
Katarina's, you've given up chase, haven't you? So...
I don't know. I'm probably going to try to get Aaron to, like, somewhere in cover, but...
Yeah, I think seems Frederick's shooting his bow and sort of keeping at range at the moment. I'm going to join Katarina and Errant and just try and defend him while he's down.
Sure. So you race over and...
get my weapon out.
Yeah. She did some success on her athletics check before, so they did make their way like partly towards where the remnants of the... You're kind of like between where the remains of the Durenbach wagon or the carriage and the Kreuzfeld carriage are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then it is the... You would see... I actually rolled for them. Jakob stumbled and fell. So Dorothy's having to grab him and kind of drag him up. They're not making a lot of headway in. More of the mutants, those 3 that are there, have moved sort of around him to try and protect him. Then it is... Katarina's turn. I skipped you here. What are you doing? So chaos is kind of reigning here, both literally and metaphorically.
I don't know if there's a... Does she think that Dorothy could hear her?
She might, yeah. I mean, you certainly could raise your voice. You're a big lady, so you could try and make yourself heard.
She's going to try to, at the very least, distract Dorothy, but yell, "Do not make this worse for yourself. Turn yourself in. Stop this madness."
Sure, yeah. Give us a charm check, and I'll make it a contested, make it challenging, and we'll make it contested by Dorothy's cool. Okay.
I don't have any.
I mean, it's understandable too. Like you've got a man who suddenly threw himself out trying to protect you. So you're crying out, and then you can hear the hissing of the bombs kind of near you. There's the cry of pain from people who were affected by the bombs. Not everyone was. I did quickly look up in Arms has rules for bombs.
Yeah, they're nasty.
Fucking ugly. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Like one of the characters rolled a grenade into like a room and closed the door, but the blast was so powerful it blasted the door off and dropped it, knocked him back. That's great. What was even funnier is like he threw it into a room with like a blue horror and the sorcerer, it injured the sorcerer pretty badly because he has like etheric armor.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything to the blue horror.
Oh, God.
It's not magical.
We are adventure playing Soulbound that we were playing over the holidays. Colin's character made this thing called what was it called? An action cocktail? Action.
Yeah, it wasn't a cocktail, was it? It was a handshake.
Action
Was it?
handshake, yeah. Which is effectively like a firebomb made of magical stuff. The last thing that happened in that session before we ended it was he tossed a fucking firebomb in this room, set a bunch of undead on fire, and then closed the door. So
Awesome.
it was pretty cool. All right, then Friedrich. Speaking of cool actions, what do you wish to? Aaron is kind of struggling to try and move himself along. So he says, "My lady, we should find cover from the others. Command them." And you can see, if you look over, the Durenbachs are in some semblance of order because of Everett. In spite of all the chaos and whatnot, Everett is crying out commands, but no one's in charge of the Kreutzfelds right now. So their people are just all over the fucking place.
Right.
Frederick.
So can Aaron yell or he can't, right?
He's got a bolt in one lung right now. So
Yeah. Okay.
Frederick, what are you doing?
I'm just shooting. I'm
Go right
shooting. If I got a bead on, is Frederick down? I haven't got a bead on him
They've
anymore.
pulled him back up again. He tumbled to the ground. They pulled him back up. So you could shoot again if you like. Now there are.
I don't know.
Can you use a shield to defend against range attacks?
Only at point blank.
Only at point blank. Okay.
There's just not enough time.
Yeah.
Or you don't know where it's coming.
So then it is with same thing as before with no modifiers.
Okay.
Come on.
So it's just flatten it.
Yeah, flat. No
So
mod.
what's,
Yeah, it's
what's the
challenging.
actual difficult? Difficulty is so challenging, yeah.
Challenging, yeah, because it's short range, but then also because of the cover that you're shooting through.
Yeah.
So here it comes. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh,
well.
Now, here's what you could do. However, you have more than one, depending on how badly you want this to go off. What you could do is blow a resolve point and then pick what number you want to have rolled. Resolve does not come back very quickly. You need to have an act of extreme importance during your... Oh, this is resilience. Hold on. Resilience.
And I'll just take the miss. It's
Well, it's a crit
some you
fail,
win.
so then we'd be rolling for a fumble.
Yeah, some you win, some you lose. You
I
know.
love it. Okay, that works for me. Then
So you gotta roll your fumble.
yeah, roll a
thing.
percentile, please, for your fumble. Let's see what happens.
So that's
The oops table.
D100.
Yeah, 77. Okay.
On the oops.
Okay, where is that? Okay, crit. Torn muscles. I know that feeling. No.
No, the oops table is on page
Yeah, what page is it?
160. 160.
160?
Yeah, 160.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Oh. Okay.
77. You mishandle your weapon or you drop your ammunition. Miss your next action.
Oh,
So after such an incredible... And again, I think if someone jostles you, it's not that you're a fucking idiot,
it's
you know?
just
You're like,
chaos,
"Oh,
isn't it?
fuck
Yeah.
it."
Yeah.
You know, so the shot goes off wild.
Well, I normally pick my shots a little bit more. I have a bit more time for
Definitely.
taking my.
Well,
Yeah,
also,
I'm
again,
not-
like you just recovered from the trauma of having heard that bomb go
Yeah.
off, so I don't think you can beat yourself up too badly. The mutants are they have reloaded, so they are going to fire once again. I think Frederick, because you are firing into them, they are going to be targeting you. You get the benefit of the cover though, so they get minus 20. I think the crossbow has a range of 60. Yeah. So they're not with. That's probably 30 yards actually. So it will be a no modifier just against their ballistic skill. And their ballistic skill is, there we go. All right. That is a hit. So 3 plus a 9. So that is 12 points of damage. So subtract your toughness bonus and your armor. I guess we could roll hit location.
What did you roll? You just
Oh yeah,
flip
right.
it.
It's reverse. 7. Hold on. There we
Toughness
go.
bonuses. Toughness bonus is 3.
Toughness bonus, yeah, right in the body. Do you have any armor?
I don't think so. Where would
I don't
armor
think
be
you guys.
in
It
the
would be like a
combat?
jerkin or something like that. I think with at best as a hunter. So then, not. I mean, you guys 9. You said the toughness bonus is 3.
I've got nothing written down as armor, so I don't think so. Toughness bonus is 3.
3. Yeah. So 9 points of damage. Fuck. As it sinks in, grazes you.
Is that off current wounds?
Off your current wounds, yeah. You can just do it on your token too, the red bar. If you subtract from the red bar, it'll populate to your. Yeah. Okay.
So what did you say? It was 9 wounds.
9 wounds total. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Oosh. All right.
Ouch.
Then, and the big one is bellowing at you, and it seems like he wants to charge in, and Dorothy is the one who holds him back. Then it is Alwyn's turn. What are you doing, Alwyn?
I think we need to take cover behind the wagons or something. We're getting outranged, outnumbered. I don't think we can stop them. So he's all for withdrawing back to... I mean, the caravans have been blown up, though, haven't they, to an extent?
The carriages, yes.
Or the carriages. Yeah. Is there any cover we can take from...
Definitely.
Like, the boat?
You can get yourself on. They are only fighting from the one side, so if you pulled Aaron's back,
outside.
you certainly could get him to more cover.
So I'm going to pull him and myself, obviously, into cover on the other side.
Yep. And Astrid has taken her position. I'll put her up for you. Behind that as well. Let's make a check
And I'll say
for
to the
them.
others to fall back.
Yeah, the
cover.
injured Jakob and Dorothy are going further into the forest now. And then it is Katarina's turn. What are you doing?
I wish I had more range on some of my fun things, but
So what Aaron had said last was that, right, the forces are completely in disarray.
so is Frederick still like fighting, or did he run too, or is he like? Do I think he's shocked by?
He was great. Like there's not a bolt sticking.
No. Sorry, not that was Jacob. Frederick, the other guy.
Friedrich, like his
Friedrich.
brother. Give us a perception check. Let's see what they're.
Okay. Why isn't it critical?
It's hiding. Make a perception check to find your perception skill.
Challenging.
Yeah. Yes, please. So you're looking around, you cannot see, but I mean, there's so much dust and whatnot. There's another set
But
of bombs.
he had said he wanted to like. He said to get them going or something like that, right?
Oh, what he said is that the Kreutzfeld, there's no one in charge right now, so they're just they're in absolute chaos.
But she's gonna try to like, I don't know, yell out for them to. Then
Yeah,
she can't find what Frederick. She's gonna try to yell out to get them going or to form up or
sure. Why don't you give us a leadership check at average?
Where is that? Oh, okay. Well, that's not bad. I don't know why it's okay.
Nice. What do you say?
I said, for the honor of the Kreutzfeld name, form up, fight these mutants off.
And it seems
she kind of gets all like she channels Sigmar and says, "Kill the mutant, kill the heretic."
So they are, it seems that Arendt has done his work well, because they will immediately start sort of like falling in. And Arendt says, the air, my lady. They should find Friedrich.
So she, I guess, adds protect the air.
Sure. Yeah, you're absolutely able to do that. So then Friedrich, he's got grazed by a bolt. You can see the mutant is looking like he's going to reload a crossbow once again.
I've got to miss my action because I
All right.
fucking,
Yes.
I'm scrabbling about in the dirt.
So like you and it's like you and the mutant are both trying to like get your stuff loaded and armed and whatnot, and ready to go as fast as you can.
If I miss my action,
Yep.
does that mean I can't move?
No, you can move still. Yeah.
Oh, can I?
Yep.
Can I just?
I'm reading it strictly. It says move. Move is not an action in this game. You can always move.
Right.
I think your.
Yeah.
Can I get over to where the others have gone to cut? They've got to cover now, haven't they?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna scrabble along on my stomach, like just crawling across the ground as fast as I can.
Sure. Okay, so you
I'm
go
not
scrambling.
standing up to get.
Yep.
I don't want to stand up and get shot at again. I've never been shot at before. Fuck that.
Turns out it's better being on the side of the shooting. Okay, so then
Rabbits don't shoot back, man.
some of the mutants are beginning to fall back. There are 2 more bombs that fall into the midst of everyone. And then it is Alwyn's turn. What are you doing, Alwyn?
I'm just making sure we're in a safe position. There's no bombs nearby.
If you're looking around, yeah, like not only are there no bombs nearby, and you guys are behind us because they're on the far side. There are no bombs that have gone beyond the carriages themselves, and it seems as if Katerina had lost her or missed her calling as a drill sergeant, because the Kreutzfeld soldiers are now forming up some semblance of a defensive line.
Okay. Yeah, so I should just join the defensive line if they do come towards us. I'm not going out there to face them, so it's more defense.
All right, then Katerina or Jakob and Dorothy do something, and then Katerina, it's your turn.
You can't. They're like in the woods, right? They took off into the woods. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think she can. I guess we get away. But...
Anything you wish to do?
There's no one like around attacking, right? Us or
no one immediately.
Or...
No, like there are still like crossbow bolts that are kind of flying, at odd times here, but nothing consistent. There is only 12 of them at least.
All right. So if Frederick is over here, she's going to try at least to heal him. Then
sure. So I think
I don't know. I don't know if there's. Let me see if heal is better, or heal might be better than blessing. I use blessing because, he's dying.
Healing. I don't know if there is a battle medicine kind of healing in
I gotta
this.
find.
I think field dressing is the one you can do during combat.
Yeah.
But I think it's a talent.
What's
yeah,
this?
It's a skill or something. Yeah, that's a talent.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
There's a heal skill.
Heal wounds equal to your intelligence bonus plus success level. If sterile wounds, but I don't know how long that takes. Let's see here. 181.
Okay.
Let's see here. Here, healing wounds. Oh, they need to bandage, use a healing poultice or something similar. Oh, no. So heal skill or use those things.
So I could heal skill.
Yeah, I didn't see. I'll look it up in between sessions. But yeah, for now, go ahead and give us a roll. Let's see. You maybe just be like eyeing it up and being like, oh, it's not so bad. So that is be a heal check at challenging, and then your intelligence bonus plus success level is how many wounds he gets back.
Well, hopefully.
Oh, It is after the encounter. Note: a patient can only benefit from one heal roll after each encounter.
So I'll just do I'll try to do a blessing on him.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. So
At least give him one wound. Yeah.
Just a challenging pray check.
One of these days I get better ones.
That's pretty cool having your first actual. Look at that!
Woohoo!
Fantastic. So you
get
get one wound back.
You get one back.
Shit.
I think I need to get like 4 success levels for these blessings to have better effect.
Nice. All right.
So I feel a little better.
Heck
Put a
yeah.
band-aid on it. A band-aid of Shalia.
So Arendt is beginning, in spite of having been fired, he still is falling back into a bit of a thing and trying to croak out commands to the soldiers. Friedrich, you have cover, and the blessing of Shalia has restored one of your wounds.
Okay.
If you can see those dudes, try, but I think they got away.
You might be able to get one more parting shot at them before they go away.
Yeah, just a regular crossbowman or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you wanted to spike them.
I will.
Okay.
I'll try and shoot the guy who shot me.
Sure.
Maybe we could try to capture one of these and find out where they're headed, where their base is.
Nice shot. All right, so that is so a marginal success, but because it's damaging, that's actually 9 points of damage. So that is, and you hit in the 25. Oh, with red arm, it shows on the sheet here. Look at that, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so you graze this guy's right arm. Not sufficient to take him down, unfortunately, but enough to startle him enough, so he will be giving up the fight. Let me make a. Yeah. With that, the remaining mutants fade into the forest, affect their retreat, and the thunderous sound of the bomb going off, which is basically between the two of you. It seems as if this was an effort at retreating, not at actually injuring anyone. That goes off, and as the ringing in your ears goes away, and as the dust kind of settles from the bomb going off, you realize that both members of the two families have disappeared into the forest and left you and the ruin of their carriages behind.
Well, let nobody say that Frederick didn't give it his all. The Schuster's honour is maintained and reputation.
Most definitely.
How are Raymer and the acolytes doing?
There are a couple of injured acolytes in this, just because of where the bombs went off. I'm just going to reposition these guys here, and then I'll get someone moved around. What you find is that in the fracas, Greta has utterly made her disappearance.
Yep.
Seems that she did as promised, and when trouble comes up, run. Arendt has been stabilized, but will definitely need more long-term care.
Yeah, I can do like the battlefield. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Give us a proper healing check on him, then, please.
Yeah. And then probably on Frederick too, and others.
Yeah.
Come on.
Fortunately,
It's weird. There we go. For some reason my character sheet was bouncing around. So
it drives me nuts when it does that. Oh. I don't know what the issue is with that, but it's done it for years now, where you click on it, then it'll keep moving around while you're trying to.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I think it's challenging, but it's in.
I think it is challenging. Yeah.
Let me make sure.
Come on, big money.
Oh, okay, no, it's too challenging.
Let's see.
Nope.
So he is quite badly hurt, but I mean, he will need assistance. All of them convey neither the Durenbachs nor the Kreutzfelds. Brigitte is pissed that she is blaming Jakob Kreutzfeld for what happened to her sister, but is really making no noise of it because it's her sister who disappeared with him. and her sister seem to have murdered the priest. Friedrich is likewise pissed at the corrupting influence of Dorothy, who have murdered the priest, having not, but also can't really do much because his brother is in league with the mutants.
Yeah.
So really, Raymer is in a position where, I guess, like, he's a bit out of his depth here right now. He did not expect that this would happen. He has a couple of injured priests with them. There are a number of dead among both the Creutzfeld and the Durenbach's guards. And Arendt likely would have died, had it not been for your intervention. Mm-hmm. What do you guys?
I can't do any healing. No healing on Frederick either, by the way. So.
Okay.
Not a critical though, so no.
Yeah, like they're only really like. Fortunately, no one was in their wagon at the time. Like everyone was sort of still trying to deal with whatever's going on. So like there are some injured people with like fragmentation, and then some folks were shot with crossbow bolts. But it seems as if they targeted the guards themselves, and not from any one specific thing. It was to prevent any of the guards from pursuing.
Yeah. So what's the closest? Ask Raymer. What's the closest? Like, is there a coaching in settlement nearby? We just need to go.
Well, you're not far off from the nobleman who was going to host them, but both the Durenbachs and the Creutzfelds, like surviving ones, both of them are intending on heading back to their homesteads, which means that Raymer and if it needs to be said, neither of them are willing to take Arendt in. So it comes down to whether you are going to carry on to this Lord's Manor, and forgive me, I've got the name here. I just don't remember what it is offhand.
I mean, I say we can. Well, what is Raymer going to do? Is he going to go back to Salzamund, or what is he going to do?
Raymer is going to go back to Salzamund and bring what has happened to the attention of other members of the priest and also to the Elector Count to let him know what happened. He still thinks, like, it is, a perfidious turn of events that has happened here.
Right.
But he doesn't blame you guys or anyone else. It's clear that chaos is at work in these lands, and it will need to be addressed. If there are mutants afoot in the Creutzfeld lands, the Elector Count will need to take steps to deal with them, and to deal with these families as well.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think we go back to Salzamund. I mean, how could we make it? We have to camp in the woods and stuff too, right? If we try to go back to Salzamund.
I believe you guys are one. This is that you're like you left that coaching inn earlier today. It's been a hell of a day, but there's that coaching inn that you were at before where you first met up with Matthias. You guys can make it back there today. It'll probably be evening by the time you reach there. But
that's a good idea.
The option of is otherwise to stay in the wide open. And Kremsa, he thinks that this needs to be brought to the attention of the of the Elector Count. What do you guys think should be done? He asks.
I agree with Katerina. Frederick's keen to go back. He's got no.
So we need to go back to Salzamund. I'll go with Raymer to also give report. Both to my church and to the Church of Sigmar, and the Church of Sigmar and the Elector Count, however they need.
Yeah. And the gratitude still, like what he said before, is likely going to remain. If you uncovered a chaos plot among noble families in Nordland, particularly influential ones like the Creutzfelds and the Durenbachs, there will be gratitude to be had for all involved. It would be better to bring the criminal in, but this has just accelerated the interest in whatever is going on up here.
Yeah.
What's to be done of Arendt then?
He can come with us. He survived. I'll put in a good word to the Elector Count for what he did. if I can.
He would, yeah.
Because I do not think that the Church of Shalia has a militant wing. But if you have no place to stay,
so there are, like, as much as there's not necessarily like witch hunters per se, the Church of Shalia, at least in Nordland, it does have, like, you've heard of kind of like an investigative wing. They view corruption of chaos in the same way that they would view corruption from a disease. Particularly the Lord of Plagues, Nurgle.
I didn't see any evidence here. Although Dorothy could, with the poison and stuff. I mean, I don't know. Could be.
Yeah, this is just more a matter of mutants that are out here. But yeah.
All right. She'll tell Aaron that I will put in a good word to the electric count, but you can always stay at the Church of Shalia. I do not think we would mind.
He could use a rehabilitation.
Yeah.
For it. So too. Thanks to your he's suffering from some effects from some critical wounds, so he would. Requires some ministrations, but you saved his life, so he is grateful to stay by you and serve as a at least until you get back to Salzenmund to serve as a protector. Friedrich and Alwyn, what do you make of this?
Well, I'm keen to get back to that coaching in and get some rest and try and steady my nerves. I feel like a good drink is in order.
Well, at least you left.
Like glancing around, thinking, surely there must be some surviving alcoholic beverage somewhere amongst this ruin.
Well, I mean, I'm sure the body of Helger was going to get blown to bits.
Oh yeah, that would be quite badly damaged. You know what also probably was damaged is that fucking chest full of coins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so they would have leaked out all over the place. We better tidy that gold up before it falls into the wrong hands. Can't be leaving that laying around.
If you wish to try and acquire that, it's a sleight of hand check, which I think is a trained skill. Katerina.
I think Alwyn has found his moment of glory during the chaos.
Yeah, give us a sleight of hand check.
Is that'll
be challenging because it'll be contested.
Challenging. Okay.
Yeah, you better use some of those. You'll make it, but they cut your hand off.
I think we'll be rolling that again.
Yep.
Oh dear. Oh, come on.
But remember, it's a contested, so it depends on how badly they failed. Just because you got -4, they need to.
At least it weren't a critical fail.
They succeed, so you're. I think, kind of looking around, and then you hear kind of at the last second, you hear a bit of a whine from Astrid, and one of the guards steps out of the. Hey, what are you doing? Get away from there! One of the Kreutzfeldt.
Just helping clear this up. We need to clear this up. We got to move out as quick as possible.
Get away, brigand!
Bleeding useless.
I sheepishly melt into the background.
As you make your way, Astrid gives him a single bark and then joins you. So then, guys, it's a little bit early, but I think that some other things to talk about. But that, I believe, with you guys heading back to... Oh, you know what? Let me bring the... I'll get everyone's... Who's not with you off of here. Aaron and Matthias will be joining you there as well. I'll bring the map of Nordland back up. Here we go. Because you'll be heading back to that coaching inn, and that seems like a fun excuse to use some of those travel rules from the core rulebook for next time. I mean, I'm sure traveling in the dark won't be a problem whatsoever. Whatever bad thing comes in the dark in the old world, I mean, geez. But
we don't make it. We don't make it to the coaching inn.
Well, you're going to have to be traveling through the dark. So whether you do or not, we'll have to see if anything of interest happens. And you're traveling sort of. It's just you, the priests of Sigmar, and Arendt, who are traveling along. Unfortunately, some of you guys are bleeding. But what I'll tell you is, in addition to your regular session bonus from this, guys, I will tell you that I'm going to split the difference. This isn't a long-term ambition, but it's not a short-term ambition either. Because you guys uncovered the identity of the murderer of this, in addition to the usual, what is it, 100 we've been given per session?
Yeah.
You're also going to get 250 for reaching that goal. So you'll get 350 XP for today's session, and I'll give the extra 250 to the guys who weren't able. So I think Sean and... Is that it? John the only one who missed today? No, and Sean. John and Sean, the rhyming fellows, they'll get a 250 XP reward for today's session too. So we will leave you guys making your way back to the coaching inn, and we'll pick up there in 2 weeks' time. So then, with that adventure concluded, and I'll include a link to the adventure for those who may want to play Noblesse Oblige in the description of the video below, because it's I can't remember if it's on through drive-through or if it's something that's like it's a fan one that was made that was posted. But I love this adventure, and I'll include the link for anyone else who wishes to track it down and run it themselves. But for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for session 8 of our ongoing Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th edition campaign. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the game, or the campaign we're playing, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where we have a channel dedicated to Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay games in general, 40k, Soulbound, or fantasy. And you're more than welcome to join us over there. In addition to those, there's also channels dedicated to most of the games you run on the channel, as well as things like GM discussion or virtual tabletop advice, or just finding a group or general information. There's a really lovely community that's built up over the years over there, and you are more than welcome to join us. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have a terrific selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs. If they do not have something in stock that is listed in their extensive catalog of hard-to-find and out-of-print games, you can put it on a want list, and they'll send you an email when it comes in. And if you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, be sure to enter the code FALLMUSER, all caps, all one words, and you will save yourself 10% in your purchase. That'll be good until January 15th. I'll follow up with them this week to get our new discount code. And if you're listening to this after January 15, 2024, find... go to one of our more recent videos and you'll find what the current discount code is. There's also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising we do in the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a really incredible organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children, including ongoing relief efforts in a bunch of crisis areas right now. All donations that go through that link go directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman. It just goes to help out the kids who benefit from their services. And we have yet to announce what the charity plans will be for this year, but I'll be doing that shortly. But you can find out about that on the Charity Initiatives channel on the Dungeon Musings Discord server. None of the money that's donated goes to the channel or any other middleman. It just goes to help out the kids who benefit from the services. The last thing I will say is an enormous thank you to our stalwart, grim and perilous heroes who joined us today. So Carl, Colin, and Darren, thank you so much for attending today, guys. And congratulations on resolving the mystery of Noblesse Oblige. We will be back in 2 weeks' time to see what happens next to our grim and perilous heroes. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our heroes have been uncovering as they're simply trying to do their job and represent the elector count. But until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming. Oh, and Happy New Year.
Yeah.